Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Luca.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
And thank you very much for being here, taking part in this Canvas International Art Fair exhibition in Venice.
Thank you very much for inviting me to join you. It's an honor.
You are welcome. Today we are presenting two sculptures of you in Palazzo Bembo. We are in the city center of Venice on the Grand Canal, and it's really an honor for us to present your works here and having you among our selected artists.
Thank you.
I would like that you introduce a little bit more about you and about your work. Where are you based? Where are you work these sculptures, and more information in general.
Okay, so I live and work in England, in the Lake District, which is a very beautiful part of the north of England. And I have a studio there where I first make the sculptures in clay, and then I take them to foundry to get them cast by the lost wax process into bronze. Or I take them to Pietrasanta in Italy. Pietrasanta.
In Tuscany.
In Tuscany, yes. And make them into marble. So this is my main works is in bronze and in marble.
Yes, and we were talking before about these two completely different ways of expressing yourself, yes. Working two different materials.
Yes, and they're very different. They ask me, the artist, of different things and different skills, but also the language between the material and myself is different. So while when I'm working in clay, I can make changes constantly, and it's a very fluid way of working.
Because with clay, you create it.
Yes, you build it.
From zero.
Yes, from zero. And when
with marble, you find it.
Yes, you find it. You're always searching for where it sits within the stone and understanding.
You follow the veins, you follow the shapes of the rock.
You follow the shape of the rock, but also you need to find the figure that you're looking for within the stone. So the stone gives you a language with which to produce the figure to come out of it, and it's a very intuitive way of working, and of the two, it is my favourite way of working.
It's one way working, yes, with marble.
Yes, and it's the intuition you need to know where to stop, when to change, where to follow the natural lines of the stone, and also how much the stone will take. So when it's a very fine at the end, and stone, eventually it will break if you make it too thin. So you need to know when that place is arriving. But for me, I love to work with figures because I find humanity really endlessly fascinating, because every moment that brought us here is a story of many years of experience or things that have occurred in our lives that bring us to the one moment. And so for me, when I create a sculpture, I'm trying to find that one moment in that figure's life.
So every material you use, if it's clay or if it's marble, you work on human body? Yes,
human body, mostly in the realistic, figurative way, but also more and more I'm investigating a mixture between a slightly abstract combination of this, yes. So it's a constantly evolving as my abilities evolve. It also evolves.
Both of them in this case are on the equilibrium.
Yes.
Maybe this is falling and is losing it. And she's working on taking it.
Yes, and she's
movement.
She's in the mid movement, and this is is trying to stop herself from falling.
Okay.
So she's whilst I was creating the veil, one hand is trying to pull the veil away, where the other one is trying to keep it in place, and it's that argument between your soul of I need to come out of this or I need to stay safe in my current existence, and it's that ability to, it's called emergence.
Okay.
Because she's emerging.
It's something like a battle between herself.
Yes, exactly that.
On her identity, she wants to show or not. She's fighting with herself.
She's fighting with herself. And
while she's dancing.
Yes, she's dancing, and she's always, well, still dancing, because obviously, because she moves and turns around.
Yes, we can show it.
Yeah, because she turns around.
And for this reason, I think that the sense of this sculpture, in my opinion, is that the subject is open to visitors.
Yes.
This is closed to everybody because she's working with inner world, her inner world.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm you know, on your frequency.
Yes, you are very much so. And for her, she is always. And for me, I like to have sculptures that are tactile, that people can interact with and touch and feel and move, because when I go to visit an exhibition, all I want to do is touch. I want to see how it feels, and and it's always no, you mustn't touch. And you're like, how do you think the artist would feel if you were the artist and someone touched your work? And it's like, I'd be delighted because that's kind of, they are such a tactile item. So it's But for me, sculpture came to me, it's almost part of the story for sculpture. The way sculpture came to me is almost part of a story in itself. Because I loved sculpture from being a very young teenager. And I always wanted to study it, and there was no way in my world at the time to study it. So I did archaeology at university, so I could study Greek and Roman sculpture. And then when I got pregnant with my daughter, who is with me here in Venice, my doctor said to me, no, you must not do any more extreme sports, no more mountain biking, no more snowboarding. And I'm like, what do I do? And he said, well, take this opportunity to do something you've always wanted to do but never had time. So whilst I was pregnant with my daughter, I went for my first ever sculpture short course, and the lady was like, you're good at this, you should come back. So I came back, and then over the years taught myself. So without my daughter, I wouldn't be here in Venice today. So that is kind of like
thanks to her.
Thanks to her, yes. So that's kind of my little story into how I got here. So
thank you very much for your story.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
And see you later for the opening.
Yes, I'll see you later for the opening. Thank you so much.